Seasonal rhythm. This is the third rhythm of the year, and seasonal rhythm for me is all about three things: anticipation, celebration, and change, right? When you think about seasonal rhythm, and you think about the seasons changing from one into the other, shifting and guiding and creating, really, it's about those three things. We anticipate, right? We anticipate the arrival of autumn and that shift, and especially mid-autumn, right? There's this big shift in mid-autumn. And there's a big shift in midsummer. We anticipate and we so look forward to really being pulled into the flow of this season, whichever season it is. And with that, it's really exciting and vital to remember that anticipation is the foundation. Anticipating and creating buildup, especially in your home, will make the actual celebration much more enjoyable. Because what happens is you don't just have one moment of celebrating or one day, right? It's not just Christmas. When you think about Christmas or winter solstice, it's not just that one day. It's the anticipation of it. It's seeing people put up their Christmas lights. It's decorating the tree. It's the anticipation of that moment, building, building, building. And then we get to that day and we have an entire buildup where we can go, and you know what else this does for us with the anticipation aspect? It relieves some of the pressure of making the perfect holiday, festival day. The festival day doesn't have to be perfect because there were so many days building up and creating space in this anticipation so that it's all now beautifully orchestrated into a memory, not just of one day, but of the whole anticipational time period. So that's where anticipation comes in. And this, I feel like, is a vital part of seasonal rhythm. When you get into creating every 6 weeks, each 6 weeks we have the opportunity to build up to that seasonal festival. So there's 8 seasonal festivals, and the 8 seasonal festivals can most often start with what we're going towards right now, which is Halloween or Samhain or All Saints Day. So all of the cultures have kind of taken this day, and this is the original pagan New Year. This is when we kind of get to bury our year and start fresh. And when we bury our year, go lay down. And when we bury our year and really look at it as we did our best, we can look at our goals, we can look at the word of our year, we could look at what activities we really desired to do, or maybe we could look at our bucket list and say, wow, look at all these things that I really desire. I almost got there this year, but I'm going to put this to rest. And I'm going to bury this. And I'm not going to let this affect my days anymore, right? So burying and using this time as a death ritual, in a sense, to bury that part of you that might linger or cause guilt or shame or anything that might nag at you. You didn't do this good enough, or you didn't succeed. We have those little voices. And so this is a perfect festival to really do that with, to put those things, bury them, bury anything of your past that needs to be buried so that you can literally rise up into a new year and a new day. So this is from the Bringing the Wild Within planner, and this is the Halloween Samhain Festival planning page. So it has spaces here for a meal plan. So you can make some fun festive meals. And again, these festivals don't have to be elaborate. You don't have to think Thanksgiving dinner or even Christmas dinner, but you can think of something really fun. You can think of maybe getting enough mini pumpkins for everybody and filling them with chili and making, pumpkin chili. Something really fun. It doesn't have to be difficult, but it can make memories where you look forward to it. And even you look forward to it, where it's not adding more to your plate, but you're adding more fun and creativity and joy to your plate. And then meal prep. So anything that you need to prep for the meal. And then decorations. And I really love creating and making decorations with my kids. I think this is something that's really fun, and we enjoy doing it as a family to take the time to do it. Activities, are there any activities that you're going to be doing around that time? And then any crafts. So activities would be going to the pumpkin patch. Crafts would be anything that you want to make for that time, right? Carving pumpkins, something like that. And then this is really fun, is what feelings do you want to experience during your festival? And check them off. I mean, it depends on each festival. Each festival might have a different feeling, but stress-free is a big one. And just setting the attention by like coloring in this heart and really feeling into it. I want this festival to be stress-free and sacred or playful, magical, abundant, healing, connected, peaceful, and loving. So really just creating the intention of what do you desire from this festival? And you can make that little chart, or if you have the planner, you can do it that way too. So I'm going to find the next seasonal festival, which is winter solstice. Winter solstice. And winter solstice is midwinter. And midwinter is really our time for going within. This is our time for seeing that our light within is going to shine through the darkness, right? That's really what this time of the year is. So the next festival is winter solstice. Again, we've got meal plan, meal prep, decorations, activities, crafts, and then what feelings. And the feelings could be very different for winter solstice than it is for Halloween, right? I mean, think about Halloween. It's very playful, very trickster, very jokester, creative, sneaky, spooky. Those are the things that are connected with Samhain or Halloween or even All Saints Day, right? And then we have our next festival, which is winter solstice. There's so much darkness, and there's so much darkness. And with winter solstice, it can be one of those things that we can feel a little bit lonely. We can feel, if we're not feeling whole, or if we're not feeling connected, if we had a lot of experiences in childhood where there wasn't a lot of connection in our family, or people got really bugged out during holidays, this can bring up a lot of emotional stuff during winter solstice and Christmas time. And with this, we really want to honor that. We want to take time to connect within. And when we connect within, it's really going to be an amazing time to, again, create the anticipation. And with this one, we create the anticipation, and then we have the celebration, and then we acknowledge the change. For me, winter solstice, I love to see it as a spiral. I love to see the whole wheel of the year as a spiral, but especially winter solstice. I do something called an Advent walk or an Advent spiral, and we make a spiral either inside or outside out of rocks and shells and branches. We put feathers in there, and then we carry a beeswax candle that we put into some salt dough to make a little pillar for it, and we walk the spiral. And as we go into the spiral, we acknowledge where we are right now, with all the feelings, with all the stuff that can come up. And as we walk out of the spiral, we ask, or we bring in what we desire. And so this is just an amazing little ritual. My kids and I have been doing an Advent spiral for about 3 or 4 years now, and it's a beautiful way to really create an outward demonstration of that change, that knowing that every year that we do this spiral, we're not going to be in that same space, right? The spiral is going to go, and it never stops. We can never go back to the center. We can only grow and change. And while we might think that we're back at the same space again, having the same experiences, we've grown and the experience is bigger, right? And so that is a beautiful way to create just a simple winter solstice or Christmas or Advent type celebration that has a lot of anticipation. So the next festival, which I'll show you through the wheel of the year, and we just went through Samhain or Halloween, winter solstice, and then we continue on through the wheel to Candlemas. So Candlemas is here. So we've come from here to Candlemas, and Candlemas is the beginning of spring. So it's February 1st. Each of the beginnings, so Halloween is November 1st or the 31st. Candlemas is February 1st. May Day is May 1st. And First Harvest is August 1st. And then midway, we have the equinoxes and the solstices. So Candlemas is it was originally called Imbolc, and it is all about bringing the light. So we make candles, and it's a lot about the intention of most people make their candles for the whole year on this day, and it's a day of really knowing that the light is coming. The light is here, right? And while winter solstice is about really bringing our light out and shining our light out into the world, Candlemas is really about acknowledging the light without, so outside of us. Creating beeswax candles and really seeing and honoring that the sun is coming back and it's becoming more alive. And of course, all of these have a very pagan aspect to them as well. But the church has also taken over each of these festivals. So wherever you are, this doesn't have to be a religious aspect. This doesn't even have to be a spiritual aspect. It could be simply a acknowledgement. I think a lot of the women in this space, though, have a spiritual space that they would like to fill with these festivals, but it doesn't have to be that way. So if you're talking to family or friends and really excited about what you're sharing, there is simply just an acknowledgement that change happens. It's not a spiritual principle, that's a fact. So there's ways of really connotating this no matter where you are in your journey and bringing that within. So spring equinox is the next one. And this is for us when the fairies really come alive. And when you have in this planner, there's actually a magical creature that is associated with each of these festivals. And for spring equinox, it's really about planting flowers, getting the garden ready, seeing the snow melt or the rain start, getting warmer and more gentle. It's definitely about coming out of the harsh dark into really seeing what the light brings into our life. It's about seeing what is growing within us, seeing what is really possible to grow in our lives. And with spring equinox, it's an amazing time to take a reassessment. Halloween and spring equinox, I feel like, are really those two that you can kind of reassess everything. And with spring equinox, seeing what is it that I want to plant in my life. You've already put to bed and buried at Halloween or Samhain, and now it's spring equinox. It's now time to really plant what you desire, those intentions you made at winter solstice of what you desire in your life. Are you planting the seeds for those at spring equinox? Are you planting your wishes, your dreams, your hopes, your bigness? Are you really putting out there what it is that is possible, right? And as we go from spring equinox into May Day is the beginning of summer. And summer is really about totally different intention than winter, right? Winter is very much about, I feel like winter is a time for survival. Does that make sense? Where the winter aspect is cold, we're hunkering down, we're like eating lots of squash and root vegetables because that's what's there. There's not many greens out. It's very much a survival aspect. And we're chopping wood. I'm chopping wood and I'm surviving through winter. Come May Day, I am thriving. I am playing. It's warm. The sun is out. We jump in the lake, right? There's this beautiful space come May Day. May Day with the maypole is all about representing love. And that's really where we come from winter, which is about kind of getting to the whole cold, hard facts of everything, right? With juxtapositioning of summer, which is really about connecting and being open to the possibilities and love and nourishment, right? And so that's where May Day's feelings come from. You're dancing and frolicking in the, with the maypole, with the ribbons and flowers in your hair, carefree. And this can really be the anticipation of it. I get to be free. I'm free of like the cold and the work, right? With summer, we often think of summer as lots of play. And yet in those times, back in the times when they harvested, this was when all the work would actually happen. But it can be very playful working. When we allow ourselves to see our work as our play, an entire new shift happens. What happens if every time you have to go to work, you go, I get to go play? What a different, your body would actually respond differently. And this is what May Day reminds us of, that everything is connected with love. All we need is love. And it's true. All we need is love. And May Day is here to remind us and bring that and pull that out of us. And next, after May Day, comes summer solstice. And summer solstice is an amazing fiery, really fiery and passionate and wild. Like, think of Burning Man. They have like 100-foot, right? 20 foot, I don't know what it is. 30-foot man built of wood that they light on fire, and that is summer solstice. And that is really like the opening of being the possibilities. May Day brings about the love and the connection to see what's possible. Summer solstice is being every possibility at once and really shining and really thriving. So summer solstice is really the passion, the fire, the desire. This is really when we can pull out of ourselves energy that we didn't know we had and finish whatever it is that maybe hasn't been. We have the energy, we have the light of the day. We've got more than 12 hours of light. And in some spaces, it never gets dark if you're up in, the northern hemisphere. And this is really an amazing time to get all that you want done in a really powerful push of just fire and passion. And after summer solstice, we come to the first harvest, right? And so that's where, summer is that place of play. You might be watering the garden, but you're not out there harvesting. You're out there playing in the soil, picking weeds, and really just enjoying and basking in the growth of everything that you planted in the spring. Come autumn, there's 3 harvesting, with Halloween being the last harvest. So the first harvest, beginning August 1st, or Lunasad, is what it's Harvest Festival, Lunasad, the first harvest, however you feel comfortable saying this festival's date. The first harvest is often as it's such an exciting time, right? For this festival, we often go and we have, this is definitely, a warmer time, and doing something with water is fantastic because it's very hot by the 1st of August, right? We're getting into the hottest part of the year. And so having something with water, of knowing that water actually nurtures us and helps us. And so after first harvest, we go to autumn equinox. And autumn equinox for us represents the big shift, right? So autumn equinox is really about the abundance. This is really the time to see how abundant life is. If you grow a garden, you know that by autumn equinox, you have bounty. You have tomatoes, and if I do elderberries, and it's like everything is just loaded, chocked full of so much abundance. There's enough for us, there's enough for our community, there's enough for the birds and the animals. It is exploding with abundance. And that's really what the harvest times, the 3 harvest festivals, are to bring anticipation to the abundance of your life, to really see, where am I abundant? Where am I succeeding? What can I harvest in my life? And really knowing that there is an abundance of resources, of tools, of growth, of spirituality, of energy. There's an abundance of everything you desire. And knowing that will just create more of it. And so as we go through the entire wheel, and then we're back at Halloween, and I love this wheel because it really allows us to take a beautiful picture and to walk through life with each individual step, knowing that we can anticipate, celebrate, and then acknowledge the change in ourselves and in what we're going to have and receive and give each seasonal festival. So what do you want to begin anticipating for each holiday season? Writing just one word of intention for what you would like to anticipate, or what it is that you're anticipating. Are you anticipating the trickster or the playfulness of Halloween? With winter, are you anticipating the going within and going deeper? With Candlemas, are you anticipating the light and the shift out of the cold darkness? So for each holiday, creating an intention of what you anticipate so that the whole world can join in you with that. And then thinking of ways that what feels exciting to you rather than what feels daunting. So using this festival guide as really that, as a way to create more experience rather than more on your to-do list. How can you organize these seasonal festivals with simply just bringing more fun and love and energy into your home, into your life, and more connection into whatever it is that you're doing? So I would love to hear from you, and post in the group if this is something that you are doing. And I'm really looking forward to this being a time and a space of rejuvenating ourselves throughout the seasonal rhythm, rather than it being something, the seasons are coming, right? Or the holidays are coming, but really seeing that every day is a celebration of the holidays. So peace and blessings to you, and I look forward to hear what you are going to create through your seasonal rhythm.